So we went through this childhood and we had all these things that were bothering us, and we've gone through a lot. We've been through joy and pain and my best friend did this and they stole my boyfriend or they stole my husband and they cheated and all these things that we talk about people have done to us, right? I'm the only one. What? Oh, okay. We just don't want to talk about it because what did Paul say? Leaving those. That was then. And we got to let it go and forgive it, right? Yes, and you see what I wrote there. No condition is permanent in our life. It only becomes permanent when we keep doing what? What was that? What did that young lady say over there? When we keep feeding it. When we keep feeding it. When we keep feeding it. I heard that if you get up and you go to work one day and you talk about you have a headache and how bad you feel, and if you say it to enough people, by 12 noon you will go home sick and with a headache, because everybody be like, yeah, you do look sick. Yeah, you don't look well. Oh, you old poor baby, you look, oh my God. So keep feeding it. Do you guys hear me? You hear what I'm saying? Truly. You can feed it. And I find myself doing it sometimes. Don't think that I'm exempt from it. I do it and Della Faye, snap out of it, girl. Are you crazy? What do you want? The bottom line is, what do you want in your life? So you keep feeding it, that's what you're going to get. You see, I did this talk one time. If we don't live it, I'm talking about the Word of God. That was my topic. If we don't live it, we really don't believe it. Because he said, I'm the same yesterday, today, and forever. I'm not going to change. You keep on doing what you're doing, having those old negative thoughts, feeding that negative stuff, and guess what you're going to get? More of the same. Bottom line. So we're all smart enough to know that. So just know that it's human nature to fall into those traps. But snap out of it. So now I don't know what works for you, but you know what works for me? Music. I'll play Shirley Caesar to death if she only knew. See, because that's who I like. He's working it out for me. I'll be like, Shirley said you was working it out. When? He's working it out, and I just have to keep singing it over and over and over and over until I get it. I was married to an evangelist. He died from cancer. And sometimes I would get up and speak, and he'd say, you too repetitious. You know what I told him? The Bible repetitious. God was repetitious. So maybe I'm supposed to be repetitious. You know, maybe he feels like we don't get it, so he has to keep saying, come on, my child, get it. Come on, my child, get it. Come on, you know. And so I have to cheer myself on. Anybody in here their own cheerleader? I even tape myself. I'm so good at it, I will tape myself and go to sleep with that powerful motivational tape in my ear. Like psyching myself out, I need to get it. You see, because the subconscious mind does not reason, does not reject, it does not condemn. The subconscious mind merely sets out to do exactly what you programmed it to do. So I go find all those scriptures that can speak to my heart and say, girl, you better wake up and change. Or you're going to keep having things the same old way. Pray. He said, pray without ceasing. That's what he said, pray. Instead of talking about you don't talk to them, and then we wonder why. God, I've been praying about that for a whole year, and you haven't done anything about that yet. What's up with that? He said, what? You asking me for what? You over here talking about you don't even like your sister. You see, the Lord's Prayer says, forgive me as I. Say that, ladies. Forgive me. So what's the most important word there? As I. As I. So you don't want to forgive, guess what? Hello. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. And then you wonder why you're going through what you're going through. You see, because you put the emphasis on forgive instead of forgive as I. To the extent that I do it, God, do it for me. To the extent I do it, God, do it for me. To the extent I do it for me. If I don't do it, then what should I expect? Hello. He said, I'm not going to change. I'm God and I change now. You think I'm getting ready to change to make what? That we can just ask him to just be like a little bouncing ball, do whatever we want him to do. God looking at us like, you what? I created you. You didn't create me. I'm the creator, not you. So to the extent, see, you got to put my grandmother. My grandmother is 96 with all of her Alzheimer's and, ooh, Jesus. Anybody in here dealing with anybody with that? That's some new stuff to my family, and oh my God. That is cuss everybody out, think everybody's stealing her money. Everybody's stealing her money. But my grandmother always taught me, she was a speaker, and I think that's where I got it from, because you know when I was in school, when they told me I had to do a speech, I said, give me the F. Speak in front of who? Give me the F. I took an F in the class, scared to death. And my grandmother said, girl, you better find somebody to connect to in that audience. So I've been connecting today. Have I been connecting, ladies? I was like, let me connect. And so my grandmother taught me about putting the emphasis on words. And so anybody, I'm trying to make sure anybody need a pen, because you're going to work on this wheel, and then I'm going to get out of here and let you ladies go. So I have some pens here. And I'm going to give you, it's 2 minutes, 3 minutes, long enough for you to complete it. I want you to work on it. You're finished already? Everybody's finished? And you've connected the dots after you? Okay, ladies. Did everybody finish their wheel?
Oh, yeah.
You finished your wheel and you drew the lines to connect? So now I want you to take that wheel and put it on your bike. Are some people going to have a bumpy ride? A good ride? Really? Very bumpy ride. You got some work to do? But see, that's what life is all about. We have to have work to do. We have to set goals. And as we set goals, because if you don't set goals, then you won't do anything about it. But if you write, how many people write out goals every year? Whoa, that's a good thing. That's good. So you write goals and then you try to achieve them. But the first step is writing them. So that was the reason we did that exercise, so that you could see where you are and where you want to be. Because you're doing this for who? Nobody but you. Okay, so Philippians is the which book of the Bible? The joy book. So the first chapter is the joy in the gospel. The second chapter is the joy in following Jesus. The third chapter is joy through commitment. So our commitment is we are committed to obeying. I'm going to obey. I want to live life to the fullest. And when I mess up, I'm going to go back and repent and ask for forgiveness and say, oh, Lord, I messed up, help me. And the fourth chapter is the joy in the Lord. So the joy book of the Bible. So ladies, I came to tell you today that we can live life to the fullest. Long time ago, we decided, I want to serve the Lord. For some, it could have been yesterday. For some, it could have been years ago. I decided I want to serve the Lord. And if things haven't gotten any better, if things haven't changed, maybe you need to take a look at what is it in my life that I haven't forgiven, because obedience. And I'm going to share this story, and then I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to pull and give away these last gifts I have. And the song I wanted to play in the end for you too was I'm So Satisfied by Sister Shirley Caesar. And I just be jumping and screaming and shouting like, I'm so satisfied. And that God is my friend. So I moved to Texas in 1983. I'm originally from the Midwest. Midwest meaning I'm from Hammond, Indiana, real close to Chicago, not Gary. Oh, you're from Gary to Jackson's home. I used to see Michael Jackson for 25 cents, believe it or not. So Hammond was very close to Chicago. So I prayed and I asked God, I want to move. I had a brother and sister living in Dallas. I had come to visit in February and people were walking around in t-shirts. I was like, t-shirts? I need to move there. You know, because I come from the Midwest, snow up to here and winter time all the time, so I wanted to move. And the doors were open and I was moving to Texas. I was so excited, and then all of a sudden, you ever had like a door just closed in your face? Like somebody let down the garage door and you couldn't go anywhere? I was like, what's up with that? So I went to God and I said, so what's wrong? I prayed and I felt like you opened the door for me to move, and now it's like there's a stumbling block. What's wrong? Now you know how awesome God is, right? He will definitely show you. You pray and ask, he will show you. Now you may not want to hear the truth, but he will show you. Why did he show me 2 ladies in my hometown that I did not get along with? In my dream, I went to sleep and I dreamt about these 2 ladies. I'm like, what? These are the only 2 ladies in my whole town I don't get along with. And I don't have enemies. They didn't like me, so guess what? Turn their nose up at me, guess what? I just did the same thing back. I did it back to them exactly what they were doing to me. These are true stories, and I told you, come talk to me in the end. I can tell you a whole lot more. So people say, how can you forgive a lot of these things you forgive, Della? If I tell you I had to be delivered. I was so revengeful, it was like, I come from a family with 9 brothers and sisters, and everybody in the house was scared of me, and I'm the 3rd oldest because I just had this fighting spirit, and I'm going to pay you back. You better not go to sleep tonight because I'm paying you back. So when I dreamt about the girls, I was like, okay, so that only means one thing. You cannot move forward until you take care of this issue. And so God, in his grace and mercy and awesomeness, I just went to the grocery store one day, and guess what happened? I ran into one of the ladies. Girl, what you been up to? Blah, 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 blah. I just started talking like she was my best friend. You see, I'm obedient. You don't have to tell me but once. Because I'm telling you, my mom and daddy would tell you, Della Faye don't like whoopings. I don't. So if you like whoopings and you like to be held back and all that, keep on doing what you're doing. You're going to keep on getting the same results. I just started talking to the lady, blah, 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 blah. And she, what do you think she did? She was receptive. She was receptive. She started talking back. See? So I just had to take the first move like, I don't dislike you. So I moved to Texas. The doors opened right up. I moved to Texas. Then 4 years later, my second from the baby got married. I went home. You know, we like to dress. Don't want to wear what's in the closet. Already got too many clothes. I went straight to the mall to shop. Went to River Oak Shopping Center. What do you think happened? Oh, Lord, not 4 years later, the first person I saw at the mall. Girl, what you been up to? I am not coming back to Indiana to this snow. I just started talking. And what do you think happened? Obey. Make a commitment to obey. You want to live life to the fullest? That experience has forever changed my life. Since I've been in Texas, I had a girl I worked at Greyhound for years. And I don't know what I did to her, but I made her mad. And I would go to her desk every day. You mad at me? I am not getting ready to lose my blessings because of you. You're going to talk to me. I would go to her desk every day, so somebody asked her, so you mad at Della? She said, Della won't let you be mad at her. So I'm telling you all this because you'll say, what she want. I gave her no choice. I am not going to cut off my blessings about some stupid stuff. You mad at me? What could she be mad at me at work about? Wasn't about no man or nothing, so it was something trivial. And God had already, tried to hold me back. I wasn't going to get it because I didn't want to forgive. God, you don't ever have to worry about me forgiving. So you want to know what to do, ladies? Call me. You need somebody to support you? You better go in that garden and play that song. Or if you need to talk to me, and I'm telling you, meet me on the side. I tell you, since that day, some things I have had to forgive. Ooh-wee. But did I do it? I did. Ladies, my name is Della Faye. I hope I've been a blessing to you. God bless you. And I hope you had a good time here in Dallas.